This is exactly what Netanyahu wanted. I know it may sound strange. Who would want 180 missiles being fired at them? Well, that's Benjamin Netanyahu for you. He sees this escalation as an opportunity to do what? To reshape West Asia, to settle his scores with Iran. Just look at his actions over the last year. Excessive force in Gaza, direct attacks on Tehran, killing the Hezbollah chief in Beirut. All of it confirms one thing. He was needling Iran all the time, basically spoiling for a direct confrontation, and now he has got it. The Israeli Prime Minister addressed a security meeting yesterday. He promised to make Iran pay.
Iran made a big mistake tonight, and it will pay for it. The regime in Iran does not understand our determination to defend ourselves and our determination to retaliate against our enemies. Apparently, there are those in Tehran who do not understand this either. They will understand. We will keep to the rule we have determined. Whoever attacks us, we attack them.
That's a strong statement, and expect Netanyahu to follow through. He couldn't do that the last time. Iran launched its first direct attack in April this year, but Israel's response was limited, a bit half-hearted. This time, he is in a better position. Netanyahu is more popular at home. His allies have closed ranks behind him, and on the battlefield, he's making constant gains. So it's the perfect opportunity for the Israeli Prime Minister, and he knows it. This week, he spoke to the Iranian people directly. He hinted at a regime change in Tehran.
But you know one simple thing. Iran's tyrants don't care about your future, but you do. When Iran is finally free, and that moment will come a lot sooner than people think, everything will be different. Our two ancient peoples, the Jewish people and the Persian people, will finally be at peace.
Now, let's be clear. It's not like people in Iran were logging on to X to see Netanyahu's speech. It wasn't meant for Iranians. It was meant for the world. Netanyahu was basically broadcasting his intentions. He knows that Iran's regime is weak, so he's looking to capitalize. The question is how? How will he do it? Reports say Israel will attack Iran within days. And the targets? A lot of theories are floating around. Iran's nuclear facilities are said to be on the table. So are its oil refineries. Now, these would be high-profile targets. If Israel attacks them, if Israel attacks Iran's nuclear facilities and oil refineries, it wouldn't just be an escalation, it would be an all-out war. Israel also has lower impact options, like destroying air defense systems or conducting targeted assassinations. Let's look at the specifics. Iran has around 8 nuclear sites. Some are military complexes, others are so-called research centers. Netanyahu has always talked about destroying these sites, but is it tactically possible? Well, Iran's main nuclear site is Natanz. And to get there, Israeli fighter jets must fly deep into Iran, meaning they must evade Iran's air defenses. That's the first challenge, but let's assume they make it. The nuclear facility is 328 feet below the ground. Even American bombs cannot penetrate that. So the operation itself is quite a dangerous one, especially if you're doing it alone. Which brings us to the second possibility, oil sites. Iran has around 98 oil fields. They also have 10 oil refineries. If you destroy them, you can cut off Iran's lifeline. Just one problem here. Iran will retaliate. Reports say that they have issued a warning to the US. The Iranians have told the US that if you attack our refineries, we will burn oil facilities in the Gulf, like those in Saudi Arabia or the UAE. And it has happened before. In 2019, Iran's proxies attacked Saudi refineries. It led to a fall in Riyadh's oil output. So which option will Netanyahu choose? What will he strike? It depends on two things. First, how soon does he want a war? Does he want to escalate gradually, or is he itching to go? If it's the latter, if he wants an all-out war immediately, expect a large-scale attack. Secondly, will Joe Biden back him? Israel needs American support for an all-out war. We saw indications of that yesterday. Iran fired 180 missiles at Israel. That's just 6% of their total arsenal. Yet Israel needed American help to shoot them down. So imagine a full-scale war. Netanyahu will certainly need Biden's help. But last time he refused to give that. In April, Biden reportedly told Netanyahu to take the win. Israel has shot down nearly 99% of Iran's rockets, so Biden said, don't escalate. Of course, Netanyahu did it anyway because he understands how Biden thinks. The US will never abandon Israel in case of an all-out war. It's only a question of explicit support, like what happened in Lebanon. Washington kept saying, don't escalate. But when Israel killed the Hezbollah chief, Washington said, good job.
With regard to Lebanon, we've been working tirelessly with partners to avoid a full-blown war and to move to a diplomatic process that would allow Israelis and Lebanese alike to go back to their homes. On Gaza, Hassan Nasrallah was a brutal terrorist whose many victims included Americans, Israelis, Lebanon, the region, the world are safer without him.
Same applies here. Biden says don't escalate, but if Netanyahu does, Biden will support him anyway. That's how this equation has played out. If it happens again, the consequences will be dire. Every country is bracing for it.
Firstpost decodes the U.S. election. Explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained. Every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.